A great man once said,
I think suspension electric unicycles are here to stay.
and I totally agree with that. Today we're looking at the T4 from Begode. Top level specs, it's got a 2,500 watt torque or super torque motor. It's got 1,800 watt hour battery. It has a really nice suspension system that you can pump up to your weight, and you can adjust the rebound or dampening. It's got a center mounted spring loaded handle. It's got a 6,000 lumen headlight, 2 functions, on or flash. It's got dual 5 amp charging underneath the handle right there. Comes in the box with included pads, and as of the next batch, it's going to come with included kind of like honeycomb pedals, the same pedals that are on the M10-4. The first batch came with these ones that are very similar, probably the same, but on the M10-3. And really, that is it in a nutshell. So let's go ride it. I'm not going to spend the whole video talking about the specs that are on the website. You guys can read that. I'm going to talk about the ride feel and talk about some of the little nuances and what it's like to live with the T4 every day. Undoubtedly, the first major benefit of the T4 being a 16-inch tire, 12-inch rim, and the tire that comes with it, it's like a street hybrid. It is very, very maneuverable and zippy and just easy to turn and live with. A lot of these other suspension wheels that are coming out right now, the 18s and the 22-inch and the 20-inch rims, they're just big and cumbersome. The 16-inch, well, I mean, it feels like a V12. It feels like a 16X. It's so fun and easy to lean into and just turn. And you get the added benefit of suspension. For me, it's a win-win. And yes, there are bigger motors, bigger wheels, bigger batteries. Well, when you take all that into consideration, I find the T4 a little bit of a Goldilocks wheel.
Oh, this porridge is too hot!
Because it's still fast, it's very, very zippy. We've seen a few drag races recently between the T4, the S22, the V11, and the T4 over a very short distance and beat them all. Oh, it's got a whole lot of bugs in my eye. Now, the suspension type they've chosen, matched with that torque motor, is just a really nice combination because you've got a small circumference, so when you lean into it, it wants to take off. And reverse, when you brake, it really wants to stop. There's no build up, there's no lag, sag, whatever you want to call it. And everyone who's tried this says the same thing. They hop on it and the first word, or almost the first word they say is whoa, because it just takes off. It just wants to accelerate under your feet and just get up and go for it. It is a really fun wheel to ride. Recent news we've been given from Begode is that they will now be shipping this. I'm not sure if it's permanently or as an option with an off-road tire. They will be shipping it with honeycomb pedals, so the same ones that are on the M10-4, which is a really nice add-on. And for batch 1 owners, so people who've already bought the T4, they're going to be given the option to get a free stand from their dealer, which is a really nice little gesture or upgrade to say thanks for being an early adopter. Woo! Now this tire does quite a good job, this particular one, but I really would prefer, for this type of stuff, this loose sort of shingle, I would definitely prefer a knobbly tire. But as you can see, that suspension is smoothing out a lot of these bumps and stuff. I want to talk about one thing that I don't love about it. It's not a deal breaker, and it's the handle. Now, I like the location. I really like that it's here, but I feel like it needs one more click. It's quite low. I'm 6 foot. Now, it's okay, don't get me wrong. It's very comfortable, but it is a little bit rattly. I'm sure they can fix that with some spacers or some sort of rubber grommet system. It doesn't rattle when you're riding, but it's just one thing to call out. Now, if you want to talk about cruising speed, well, it goes really well. This is 45, that's 48 kilometers per hour. No beeps, no struggling, no pushback. And there's no speed wobbles, which I find really important. I've ridden other 16-inch wheels that get a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a fishtail when you get up past that 40, 45K mark. This one I've had up to 50, 52, and I haven't experienced any speed wobble, which is just so confidence inspiring. Now, obviously, we have to address the Master because the T4 is the mini Master. You could almost call it the Apprentice. Well, in my eyes and in a lot of people's eyes, the T4 is actually the better wheel, unless you want top speed. That's the drawback that you get with the T4 versus the Master. Obviously, the Master with its massive top speed and the T4 with its slightly lower top speed of around 55. But where the T4, I guess you could say, wins people's hearts is in that suspension ride feel, is in the torque, the way it accelerates off the line. Now, I've ridden both and I really enjoy both wheels. But if I did have to pick one, it would be the T4, purely for that acceleration and that really nice suspension feel. Now, I ride mine at 220 PSI, I'm 100 kilos, and I haven't bottomed it out. Gang, and that is the end of the first look of the Begode T4. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've liked this EUC content, make sure you give it a thumbs up so I know to do more of these. If you've got any comments or questions about this particular model or any EUC, chuck them down below, and make sure you let me know what EUC would you like to see next. I've got access to, well, all of them now through my new place of employment, E-Riders. So yeah, comment down below. I think next will be the V12 HT and then the Begode Master. But yeah, that's it, guys. So make sure you ride safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you on the next video.
Scotty. Who's Scotty?